welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're already part of the Sprinkle Squad. I'm so happy to see you again, and as promised in my last video, we have another limited pack build. So this is just base game and horse ranch, and I decided that I wanted to make like a micro ranch home. I will say that I don't necessarily intend for there to be horses on this lot, because this also is a 20 by 20 lot, so it is rather small. But if you want to download this, it is already up on the Sims 4 gallery under my ID spicensprinkles, all one word, all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. So if you want to download it and actually like add stuff for horses, feel free to do so. That is totally up to you and how you want to actually play your game. And I will say I actually do end up adding space for the mini sheep and goats, because I just thought that would be super cute, and it felt kind of weird building like a micro ranch but not having room for like any animals. Of course, you can also add like the chicken coop and all that kind of stuff if you would like to and you have access to those items in the game. But I had a whole lot of fun doing this, and I try to do like something a little bit funky with the roof. You can kind of see I like elongated it and kind of made it almost like a carport kind of situation. So I do end up grabbing like a truck out of debug and add that in here. And I will say that this, like, I did double check, and the only items that are in this build and up on the gallery are horse ranch and base game. But you will notice I will end up putting a trash can out here that does not belong in either of those like packs, but I do swap it out, so what's on the gallery is actually completely base game. I feel like it happens every time I try to do like a limited pack build, like one item sneaks into the build that's not supposed to be there. It happens every time. It happened to me in my last one when I did the base game only build. It just like, I don't know. I have to go and like double check, because I end up putting the little like the filters on there, but they just kind of will undo themselves a lot of time, especially if you like duplicate items, the filters like go away. So I end up having to put them back, and sometimes I just don't remember and so then I end up just grabbing an item that doesn't belong there. But I will say this is kind of a really tiny kitchen, but it's really cute, and I wanted like a full kitchen for your Sims to actually have here. And we do have a double bed, so you can have two Sims in here so long as you don't have any issues with your Sims like moving over on the bed and that they like get up at the same time. Your Sims should be able to get out of there. And I will say, in case you did not know, that you can actually cook on the corner counter. I do like to like mention that periodically, because honestly it took me a while to figure that out, but your Sims can definitely use that counter, and it is a functional kitchen. In case you haven't like tried that before, like I said, I just like mentioning it. And I fell in love with that bed, and I really wanted to use it. I feel like I used that bed not too terribly long ago, to be honest, but I wanted to use it again because it's just so cute. And we do end up adding like a tiny little living area here too. I end up putting a little fireplace, and we do have a TV in here as well. I will say I do not have a computer in this build, but of course if you'd like to add one, you can do that as well. And we do have a really nice backyard space as well. Like I have a grill and a bar out there, so your Sims have plenty to do. And I put some gardening and the woodworking table as well. And of course you can add an easel or whatever else you want to, and like whatever your Sims need to like go about their daily lives. And I did struggle a bit with the bathroom. I actually ended up having to tweak it a little bit from what we end up with, because the Sim couldn't get to the shower, which you'll see in a minute. It was a little bit iffy, like where I was placing stuff, and sure enough the Sim didn't quite like where the shower was. But don't worry, what is up on the gallery, it has been play tested, and your Sim hopefully shouldn't have any issues actually like getting there. And I do remember having a weird issue with this build too at some point when I go to actually swap out that curtain for a pulled back curtain, kind of the space that's separating the living and bedroom areas. I swap it out for a pulled back curtain, and the game didn't like it. I don't like it. Took me forever to figure out how to fix it, but we did figure it out. But it was just kind of a whole thing. It was just kind of odd. I don't know what made it like freak out, but we do fix it. And I also wanted to mention that while uploading this to the gallery, that my last build, the base game build that is up on the channel, actually has almost 1,000 downloads on like the gallery, which is insane. I do not have anything that is close to that number of downloads, so I just thought that was kind of fun and wanted to share that with you all. That's really exciting actually, so hopefully everyone can have a really good time with my build. It almost feels like there's so many people like downloading it, like I don't know, it feels like a lot of pressure, but it is kind of cool to know that people did want to download it and use it in their game. And like I mentioned, everything like works out really nicely in here. It just felt like that curtain that's just kind of like there and needed to be pulled back. It just felt like it was kind of in the way and created like a weird like nook area over there by the bed that I wasn't really sure what to do with. And if you've ever done like a micro home in The Sims, you know that like every single like square counts, if you know what I mean. So if you do have the tiny living pack, you can actually use this as a micro home. If you don't have that pack, then you just don't get the benefits of the micro home. But this does come in at 31 tiles, so you should get all of those benefits, which is also why when I add in the area for the sheep, I do put like another roof piece over there, and it's going to look a little funny just because I wasn't able to put like a flat piece there, because if I did, the game would be upset and say that that's part of the tile count, which is ridiculous because your sim can't use it. It's part of the roof. But anyways, so if you notice that it looks a little bit weird, that is why. So of course, if you also don't really care about like having the micro home, then you can of course add that piece if you'd like to. And just now you probably saw that issue, like the wall like turned black and like just was acting really funny when I messed with that curtain. But I ended up basically pausing the recording and fixing it, so you don't actually have to see me trying to fix it, because it did take me a little bit. And I just used a bunch of green in here because I just thought that was really cute and kind of just really went with that like earthy tone I was kind of going for here. And of course we have a fruit bowl. It just ended up having to be up on top of the fridge because we just didn't have that much room, and I really wanted to be sure that your sim could use that corner counter, and it can be really iffy if you put stuff on it. So I just wanted to be sure your sim really could use it. So I didn't put any clutter on that counter, which was a little bit difficult for me, I'm not going to lie, but I did want to make sure that this build was actually functional for you. And I ended up actually doing this in 2 different recordings because I did the inside, and then honestly the outside was a little bit difficult for me. I just didn't know exactly what I wanted to put out there and how to make it look really nice, especially with being limited to only Horse Ranch and base game. I do use like debug landscaping and everything, but this is such a unique kind of landscaping that, I don't know, it just posed a little bit of a problem for me. But when I came back to it, I really like finished it very quickly. So I don't know, I guess I was just having like a creativity like issue at the moment, so I just had to come back. And I feel like I have to do that a lot. Like I feel like something's not working out, so I end up just kind of coming back to it, and it works out really well. And then I do end up putting that horse trailer here, which yes, I know I already said that there's no horses on this lot, but I don't know, I mean, you can still put like the sheep and goats in there hypothetically in order to take them places. But I just thought it was still like a really nice touch to have on this lot. And I will say that I've never built on this lot before, and there's this cute little like park really close to it, which is also close to town. And I noticed that when I was taking screenshots, and I was like, this is adorable. So if you do place this where like I built it, so it's the Cozy Corner house lot in Chestnut Ridge, so if you do place it there, definitely check out that little park. And of course I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it and you're like, wow, like Rachel, you're, you know, how did you not notice that? But I just haven't really done anything with this world, so I feel like I really need to and explore with some more gameplay here. I played with it a little bit like when it came out, and of course I've done builds with it, but I really just haven't actually done a whole lot with any of the animals or explored the world too much. Like I feel like since I don't have like early access to the packs or anything like that, I go straight into building. Like I don't explore the world as much as I probably should to really get to know the area. But I just like, you know, my priority is building, and that's what I enjoy doing. I do know, didn't they already announce the next like pack? I honestly have been like not really looking at a lot of posts because I'm trying to like not look at any leaks. I try to have everything be a little more of a surprise, but I don't know. I do know that like, I think by the time this goes up, I think they're doing a live stream, like what will be today when I'm posting this. So I don't know, we'll see. And I also, so for those of you who have been keeping up with me recently, I did move a few months ago, and hopefully, fingers crossed, when this is posted, I will be driving on my way to go close on my old house. So hopefully, you know, send happy thoughts and that everything goes smoothly and I officially sell my old house. We like are so ready to get rid of it and like just, you know, really just settle into where we are now. But anyway, so just send happy thoughts for me. And then hopefully if you watch this several hours after this comes out, hopefully I'm already done with that. I will be on my way back home. But that's just kind of, I guess, life update for me. That's kind of the big thing I've got going on this week. So hopefully that, you know, goes smoothly, since it's kind of been, I feel like it's been forever. It's only been a couple of months, but it just feels like it's been forever trying to get that house sold. If you've ever sold a house before, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Like, you just want it to be done. But anyways, just adding in here, this was like a last minute addition. I had like made this area and then I was like, what do I do with it? And then I was like, oh, I could put like goats here. And then like, I don't know, I feel like if you have animals out there, you would want them to have some sort of cover. So I added this roof piece in here. And when I say it took me forever to find that like roof trim that I used on the other pieces, because the game was being difficult and not letting me just copy it. And it took me forever to figure it out. I had to like pause my recording just to find it, so you didn't have to watch me do that for 10 years. But I did figure it out, and it does now match. But it was one of those things, like the game just wouldn't let me copy it, and then I had to go find it, which was kind of funny. And just including a little bit of clutter in here. And I put in like the hay trough. Is that a trough? I don't know. The thing you put, I don't own any kind of sheep or anything like that, but I don't think you need the like water for them. I'm pretty sure I read the descriptions on the items, so hopefully that is true. If you need it, you can easily add it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I am correct and you don't, and you just need a place for their hay. But just adding in here a place for your Sims to garden, because I just thought that would be really cute and kind of make a lot of sense, kind of getting that like ranchy farm kind of vibe going. And again, just something else for your Sims to actually do while they're out here. And then just adding in, of course, some vegetation, because I just can't help myself. I have to add a bunch in here when I'm building, and of course rocks and a bunch of terrain paint. And hopefully the terrain paint does stick around and it doesn't do the whole Sims 4 thing of, you know, deleting itself. So hopefully that works out pretty nicely. But let me know what you think of this build, and let me know if you have any suggestions for other things you want to see on the channel. And I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.